Welcome to Migration Stories, a special edition of NAT Chat produced by Northern Access TV for Channel 31. And today my guest is Quashsni Bahd. Hello Quashsni.
Thank you for having me, Richard.
Thank you so much for coming in to Channel 31. Now with Migration Stories we want to learn about Australians who've migrated here. And you've come from Zimbabwe.
Yes, I have.
Well, thank you for that. You're making us a richer country.
It's good to be here. It's been both a pleasure and a blessing being here, yes.
Interesting, because the circumstances of you migrating, what perhaps was the first time you heard that you were going to migrate to Australia, or was it just leaving Zimbabwe that your family talked about?
Okay. After I'd done the Year 12 equivalent, my parents were like, well, you know, where do you want to go for university? So I had choice. South Africa was on the list, so was America and the UK, and then there was Australia. Now, the process of elimination was, Mum wasn't happy with me going to South Africa. Dad wanted me in South Africa because that was going to be close to home and he could visit and drop in whenever he liked, as dads do. And I felt like everybody goes to America. I mean, it's on TV. I didn't think it was going to be something new. And the UK was too cold.
Yes, and it definitely is, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thought, Australia, the land down under.
What impressions did you have of Australia at that stage? I mean, maybe TV shows or anything else?
Yes, there was TV shows growing up. We had a lot of Australian TV programs.
Series and such?
Yeah, series like Round the Twist. Yeah, that was a big one. Skippy the Bush Kangaroo was one.
Get to see the bush side that way.
Yeah, so we got to see the bush side. Flying Doctors was another. So there was a bit of exposure there. And I remember at home, Dad had like a wall hanging and it had like a map of Australia. And I remember seeing Adelaide and going, oh, that's such a pretty name for a city.
These are the things that impress us anyway.
Yeah,
Get your interest going.
Yeah, so, you know, that was how I came to that decision to come.
Was there not a good university in Zimbabwe, or?
Oh, there was. There was the University of Zimbabwe. But, you know, I was privileged enough to have parents that could afford to send me away. Yes. So that's how I came to being here.
Yeah. So you have the extra of studying in another country and in fact migrating here.
Yes, yes, and growing up my parents, especially my father, was huge on education. You know, my dad always used to say the one thing that no man can take from you is an education. You know, they can take your car away, they can take your wife, they can take your property, but an education is up here and you have that for life.
Brilliant.
So yeah, my parents always pushed for a good education.
And how large was your family in Zimbabwe?
I have 3 younger sisters, so I'm the first of 4 girls.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And they're still there, or do you think of them coming here, or? They
all came over, so I came to study in 2001 and I was here for about 3.5 years, and then when I finished, Mum came and Mum moved to country Victoria because she got some work there, and then Dad and my sisters came, and then they've been here
How wonderful.
Since. Yeah,
you've got everyone here now.
Yes, yes.
How excellent. Now, which
great.
city or town or were you living in Zimbabwe?
Harare. I was born in Harare.
The capital city. What's that like? Is that really like a metropolis? Or does it have shanty towns around the outside, or how would you compare it to another town that maybe our viewers have know something about?
It's an interesting question. I mean, growing up and even like in the textbooks when we did geography, we were always told there's like low density areas and there's high density areas. Yes. So the low density were less populated and they happen to be closer to the CBD. And as you go out of the city, it's more high density. I guess maybe that would be a way
Yes, that's a very excellent description.
Of
Thank
describing
you,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine what it would be like. And there would be centres outside of Harare as well that are active in certain different industries, would there? Or?
Yes, absolutely. And of course, amongst all that low and high, you've got the industrial areas,
yes,
which for some reason are always closer to the high density areas.
Yes.
I think that's because of, you know, more population, more people for work and stuff. Yeah.
So how long ago was that you did migrate yourself?
2001.
Okay,
June.
so a dozen years ago.
Yeah.
And well, much has changed, I suppose, since you've come here. And
Yeah.
do you stay in contact with family there a little bit? And do you have an interest in Zimbabwe?
Always in my
Yes,
heart, you know.
of course.
It's the motherland. It's where I'm from. You never forget. A tree never forgets its roots. So yes, you know, I call Melbourne home, and Melbourne has been very welcoming. But Harare will always be my hometown.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I try to keep in touch with people at home.
A few good buddies and a few family.
Yeah,
well, that's
a few
excellent
family,
because
yeah.
the whole world comes to us here in Australia.
Yeah.
In the next segment, we'll find out what Quashsni is up to in Melbourne. Welcome back to NAT Chat, our special edition, Migration Stories, and today migrated from Zimbabwe about a dozen years ago, Quashsni. And what are you up to in Melbourne these days?
What am I up to in Melbourne?
Well, you've graduated.
Yes, I long since graduated. It's another...
What was your qualification? What was your area that you went for?
Yes, I studied at Deakin and I did a Bachelor's of Commerce.
Wow.
I majored in financial planning and marketing, and then I did my honours in advertising.
Honours?
Yeah.
Wow, that's better than me and everyone here. And you got some work in that area?
Yes, I worked in advertising for a couple of years and then financial administration. Yeah.
Well, it's a very good skill to have. You can transfer to very many areas, and promotion and things like that.
Yes.
And what extracurricular activities do you enjoy? Other things that you do other than your work and study?
Other things that I do, well...
You've got a fashion sense, I can see.
Yes, there is a fashion sense. So I'm a singer-songwriter. I've coined a little something I call reggae. So it's like reggae and blues.
Okay.
With a touch of soul on an acoustic tip and sometimes on a dancehall tip.
Music style with those elements all mixed in.
Yes.
Well, our viewers will be very curious to hear about it. So what's your performing group, or what's your name of your performing troupe?
Well, solo, it's Quashsni Bahd. That is what I use for the music. And for the fashion stuff, it's House of Boho Chic. So I make signature style ear discs using Afro batik materials or felts, like the one that I'm wearing now.
Wow.
With
so
feathers.
You've made that,
yes, yeah.
that earring, yes?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And the insides are recycled materials, so I'm also, you know, doing my bit for the environment.
Okay.
Hand-painted zebra signature style dresses, yeah, tassels, hoops, the work.
And are there organisations involved in, you know, helping you market that, or is it kind of like you go to a market or something?
I've done markets and I've done something called Raw, which was a fantastic opportunity. So it's all these different artists come under the one roof and they showcase their art. So we're talking singers, songwriters, performers like dance, makeup artists, hair, photographers,
Raw,
and accessories
a group
designer.
called Raw, did you say?
Yeah, an organisation called Raw.
What do they do?
They get all these different talents under the one roof and they help them showcase their art form. Yeah, so I did that in September.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And where are they located? What suburb? Or they're everywhere, are they?
Well, it originally started in America, and they've brought the idea here. And the one they had in September was the first one in Melbourne, but the first one officially in Australia was Brisbane.
So anyway, you're thriving with them helping, and all those groups together.
Yeah. But you know, a solo artist can never get too much help. So
the singing as well as the fashion.
Yeah.
Any success so far? I mean, have you won any contests or?
Successes. It's been a pretty interesting year. I entered into something called Africa's Got Talent earlier this year. That ran in May. So it was on the 25th of May, and it was part of the Melbourne Africa Day festivities, which stretched across a week.
So we have Africa's Got Talent here in Melbourne.
Yes, Africa's Got Talent in Melbourne, because there is talent from Africa in Melbourne.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that was a fantastic opportunity. I had the pleasure of being one of 10 finalists that got to sing. And they had 4 judges on the panel, you know, Denny Hines, Simon Rayner, Blair Stafford, and Chris from Northside Records.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a thrill.
Very substantial movers and shakers of the music industry.
Yes.
So you did well in that?
Yes, I did well in that.
And I guess what's happening with your home life and your day-to-day activities and networking and getting into community? What's happening there in your life here in Melbourne? Is it a welcoming place for your spread of activities in Melbourne?
Oh, wow. It's been such a blessing, Richard. I've had such really good opportunities as we speak. My creations are at the Frankston Arts Centre. So yeah, you know, that's yet another great opportunity, spanning from the 11th of November to the 11th of January, so people that cruise through can check out the art and can buy stuff. Because one of the things that the Boho Chic is known for is fascinators, so I make fascinators.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so there's that opportunity.
I'm sure we'll see you at the Melbourne Cup, or at least the fascinators there.
Isn't that the dream? Isn't that the dream?
It's our dream.
Yeah.
What else do you like about Australia? I mean, something along the lines of, is it the beaches or is it the bush? And you know, you mentioned your mother lives in regional Victoria.
Well, she used to.
What's the natural side of things that you like here?
The natural side of things, you know, I love the idea of the beach. I don't get down there much. But what I really like about Melbourne is the fact that it's such a melting cultural pot. Okay. And a lot of inspiration comes from that. Yes. Yeah. That's one of the things I love about Melbourne.
We're very lucky with our centres, and Footscray and you know, the Thornbury Northcote areas and the St Kilda areas, and it's spreading right throughout. Yeah. Well, we'll come back for another segment and maybe looking to the future and what you can help us with in this country, some ideas, fresh ideas that you might have brought to us. Okay. Please come back soon. Welcome back. I'm here with Quashsni Bahd, who's migrated here from Zimbabwe. So, what do you think Australia should do? What's the future that you see for Australia? Wow. What's our position in the world? What should we do?
What's the future? I guess I'd just narrow it down to just the music scene, really. We've got so much talent here in Melbourne. It'd be great if we could be getting more of that out, you know?
Indeed, around the world, with all the different styles that can be here.
Yes, and that's really going to be truly reflective of Melbourne as we know it.
So kind of showing the rest of the world what Melbourne is through the music.
A showcase through the music, yeah.
And that would be a huge potential, I suppose.
I'd say it'd be a huge potential and a great opportunity, not only for the artists, but even for, you know, from a tourism perspective for Melbourne as a city.
People always say Australia and Melbourne's so far away, but it could be well worth coming then, hey?
It would be.
And any room for any more festivals, do you think, in this great country?
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon we need more, you know, reggae dancehall festivals.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know that we have any now, that we don't have Ragamuffin.
No.
Yeah.
No, there isn't really a current big festival. There is the Blues Festival in Byron Bay Blues Festival.
Yeah.
And there's the Queenscliff Festival, which you could also call a Roots Festival. So many Roots festivals, but not enough reggae.
Yeah, not enough reggae. We need more of that reggae.
Maybe up in Cairns, I think Trop Fest. It's got a fair amount of reggae in it.
Cool. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that one.
And so how is it you've become such a fan of reggae in Zimbabwe? Is it also a rich music scene in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know I'm very passionate about reggae, but I'm passionate about music in general. So growing up, you know, my dad had lots of music. I'm talking, you know, we go all the way from, trying to pull some names, Deep Purple, ZZ Top, Jimi Hendrix. He had Bob Marley in there. Just the Commodores. There was lots of music. But I guess we could say I fell in love with reggae when I was 15. I went to boarding school, and every Friday last Friday of the month rather, they had a dance. So we'd go and we'd listen to reggae and dancehall, and that was the one day of the month that you knew you were really going to have like a really good time, you know.
Oh, I see.
And that's how I came into reggae and dancehall, and since then I've just been, yeah.
So it's a kind of music that comes with a culture as well, and you know, culture of dancing and sort of a soft feel to the, sort of a gentle feel at those clubs, hey?
Yes.
You can stand in the corner in the dark, or you can get up and dance. Is that what appealed to you so much, hey? Yeah,
well, the rhythm of it, you know, reggae is very sort of slow, sort of tip, and then dancehall is more upbeat. And I'm really into the dancing.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
And you're doing toasting as well? Or?
Yes, I'm doing some toasting too. I perform around, you know, Melbourne clubs. I've worked with such, you know, selectors as Jessie I, who runs the Babylon Burning radio show.
A legendary
PBS.
show on our
legendary. So
sister radio station 3PBS.
Yes, that's right. So he has a night called More Fire under his banner, Chant Down Sound, and I've performed at that. He also does dancehall.
When is that on? Did you say Fridays, or what, is it a regular thing?
More Fire is second Saturday of every month.
We need to know this.
At the Meerkat Cross Hotel.
Okay.
Yes.
Near the market.
Yes, near the market. And other selectors, you know, like Sister Itations, who does Pressure Drop at the Laundry. And that's second Saturdays, second month. Rather, so it's once every 2 months that she does that.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that sound system stuff, but every now and then I like to break it up, because I also do like acoustic stuff. So I've performed at, you know, such events as Sisters for Sisters at the Toff in Town.
Oh, really? I remember that day. I went to that show. It was last year, yes?
Yes. Well, they've had like 7 episodes since it started.
So much women talent there.
Yes. So, yeah, that started up in 2011, and that's just been rolling on since.
So it's a rich environment for your music career?
Yes.
And what about travelling markets with the jewellery and the fashion?
I've done a few markets. I guess I'm still kind of warming up to the markets, but mostly I just sell online, so I've got an online space there, and you know, your typical Facebook page, and these days it's all sort of connected, so I've got a shopping cart on my Facebook page,
Oh, wow.
That links to the store. So
it's very technical.
Yeah,
very advanced.
Yeah, yeah. So
well, congratulations on all of that.
Thank you, Richard.
Now, what's a kind of a family? You're all living in the same area, or you've now spread around a bit? Hey.
No, I live in Kensington, and my parents live on the other side of town.
So what happens? Is there a regular sort of reunion? I remember when my background's Maltese. We came from Europe, and we used to have family reunions on the beach. Is there anything like that happening in your family?
Oh yeah, we love our food.
Okay.
So typically if we've got like a birthday or something, we all just kind of go to Mum's house or my sister's house, and everybody brings a dish. So, you know, for instance, you know, maybe Dad's doing the rice and I'm doing the meat, Mum's doing the salads, my other sister's doing the vegetables, and my other sister's doing the cocktail. So by the end of the session, it's like you've had a bit of everything, and everybody's had a hand in everything, and it's really special times.
Yes.
We just don't get to do it enough.
So it's not a regular, but it's occasional?
We try to do it at least once a month.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Has the dishes developed a little bit, being, you know, any Australian influence, or?
Yeah. It's very contemporary.
Okay.
Kind of a fusion.
Oh.
Because, you know, when I think traditional food as I know it, the staple in Zimbabwe is sadza, which is maize meal.
Oh, okay.
Very similar to your polenta, and we eat that as a very sort of thick porridge.
Yes.
And we eat that with vegetables and like leafy greens and meat. But that's traditional. So contemporary could be, you know, using other non-sort of traditional spices and herbs in there.
Throw in a bit of Australian steak or something.
Yeah, jazz it up.
Well, Quashsni, thank you very much for coming to Northern Access TV studios.
Thank you so much for having me.
Today's edition of Migration Story. It's been wonderful finding out about your story.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, kind viewers. Please tune in again next week.